Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. Unfortunately, today's fragrances are the same because apparently I have OCD and I cannot burn through a brand new candle until I finish the other one. So we're still on the chocolate cappuccino candle and the myrrh incense until I finish that up. So that's what it's gonna be. If you're new around here, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you will never miss anything interesting. Also, I do post every single day on Instagram and Reddit, so if you like new daily content, be sure to go follow me over there. I do daily vlogs on Instagram stories, so I do have a lot of fun over there, and if you like that kind of stuff, be sure to go check it out. Today's video is kind of fun. It is the overview and the tutorial on the ABH Norvina palette. So this is kind of an older palette, and I know it's been out a long time, but I haven't seen so many tutorials on it, so I kind of wanted to make one. Let's hop right into the overview. So here's the cover of the Norvina palette. Here's the back. My sticker came off, so I am really lacking some pertinent information about this palette, but I tried looking it up and I got what I can, but I cannot find out where this palette was made. When you open it up, here's the palette. And on top are all your shimmers, and on bottom are all your mattes. There are 3 sequin shades in here, but they are a different sequin than what you normally see. The micro glitters are very, very fine and particular. You can use them as a matte if you use a big fluffy brush, or you can pack them on for a more vibrant color. And the sequins are this white one right here, this violet one right here, and this pink one right here. So all in all, you have 7 metallics, and some of these are duochromes up in here, and I do not know for the life of me which ones, but if you go check out my post that I posted yesterday, I annotated which ones are the duochromes, and you have 7 mattes down here. This palette is cruelty free. It is not vegan. It is made with carmine in it, and you can tell that it is a neutral palette with a little pop of color, so it's great for the person that wants to play with a little bit of color but isn't completely comfortable with it yet. So this is a really fun palette to get started with. This palette costs $45, and I will put the amount per shade up on the screen. I'm going to insert swatches of the palette right now. And a couple of cool facts about this palette is that it was made by Claudia Norvina Soar, which is the daughter of the founder of Anastasia Beverly Hills. So she created this palette to have a whimsical and a dreamer-like theme, and I really think she nailed it, because when you look at this, I definitely see a whimsical theme. So let's jump right into the tutorial. Alright guys, I'm going to scoot you a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. Also, I already have a full face of makeup on, and if you're interested at all in what I am wearing, be sure to check out the description box below, because I always list out everything that I am wearing on my face. And like always, we are going to start out with Revlon Candid Concealer as the eye primer. And I already applied under eye concealer, so I am actually just going to place this on my upper lid area. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. This is one of the best bases I've ever found for eyeshadow. It doesn't crease on me, and since I have hooded eyes, creasing is something that just happens naturally with pretty much everything that I put on my eyes. And this works really, really well as a base. I still haven't tried the MAC Paint Pot, which is on my list to try, because I heard that one's really, really good for people with hooded eyes as well. So that's on my to-try list. Alright, like always, we're going to tightline the upper waterline before we commence eyeshadow application, and with that I'm going with my Marc Jacobs highliner in Blacker. This eyeliner is just like the absolute perfect tight liner. It just applies without any effort. So you're not struggling and you're not pushing really hard on your upper waterline so it doesn't hurt. Now we're actually going to jump into the look. So I'm going to take a little detail brush like I always do and hop into the shade Volatile, and we're going to start at the inner corner. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, I do these looks on Sunday. I do them pretty fast because I don't honestly have much time to do them. If you want to see a more perfected look, be sure to go check out my Saturday post that I put on Instagram and Reddit, because you'll see how it turns out a lot better than in this video. But I just like to outline the steps in the video in case you're more of a video tutorial person. But they don't always turn out the best on video. I'll just be honest with you. Okay, so we're gonna start at the inner corner and make your line. And try to do like a little cat eye shape at the end. Now I like to look dead on straight and see how it's kind of hard to see when my eye is relaxed. I like to take that color and go up a little bit higher so you can see the color when my eye is relaxed. So we're taking this above the natural crease. And you also want to take this color and apply it to the whole lid area. So I'm just gonna put this on my whole lid. You guys want to know something absolutely crazy? This weekend, we celebrated my son's 13th birthday. Can you believe that I am the mother of a teenager now? It just absolutely blows my mind. And let me tell you, he has the attitude of a teenager. He's had that for a while. Okay, so we have this kind of shape going on. And then you want to take a big fluffy brush. I'm using the Jessup 244, like always. And you want to give that a little blend on top. Also, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. The next color we're jumping into is Soul. And you'll notice that these colors are very, very softly pressed, so you'll get a lot of kick up in the pan. So you want to take the shade Soul and put that on the harsh line that you created with your first shade. And this is one of those sequin colors. Alright, when you're done lining with the blue, then take your blending brush and give that a good blend. Alright, now the next shade is Love, so saturate your brush in that and then apply it on top of the violet on the harsh line. Alright, can you guess what's next? Yeah. Blend time. To be honest with you, this is my favorite part of the look because I just love color. And I wanted to do color on the upper eye and then play with the neutrals on the mobile lid because I just thought that created contrast and it was just so pretty to me. So the last shade that we're going to do on the upper part is the shade called Base. And the reason why I'm going in with this is because when there's a shade like this in the palette, I always like to take this on the outer edge because these work really great as a blending shade. They allow the extreme color to blend into your skin a lot more and just creates a more natural looking transition. So after you do that, just take your blending brush and blend that base color into your brow bone, basically. And now at this point, you should have a nice transition of color from, what's that volatile color? Like a taupe color to a nice base white transition. And at this point, you can actually go back in and intensify the colors if you want to. That's what I usually do. I usually go back into all the colors that we use and stick them back on, just like this, and intensify each color. And then when I get done with that, I take my blending brush and just go over the whole thing. All right, now it's time for the cut crease. And I know some of you haven't attempted a cut crease yet, but let me tell you, the best time to practice a cut crease is before you go to bed, because you're just gonna wash off your makeup anyway. So grab a small brush and grab yourself a base and then just practice. And the more you practice, the more proficient you will get at it, and then you'll be doing cut creases in no time. And I love a good cut crease, and I like to play around with different shapes that you can create with them. You can do so many different things with the cut crease, so it's a really, really good skill to learn. So just get creative with it and keep practicing, and you'll have it down in no time. But the base that we're going to be using, I really, really, really like using the ABH eye primer, which is right here, but I actually ran out of this yesterday. So I'm jumping into my eBay special, and this is supposed to be a dupe of the P. Louise primer, and I have never tried this before, so this could be a major fail, or it could be the best thing I've ever tried. I have no idea, but it's called the Becasu eyeshadow primer. It's supposed to be long lasting and waterproof, and I got it in the shade number 1 medium. Medium number 1, that's weird. So I'm gonna give it a good shake. And then I'm gonna take this little pointed silicone brush from Sonia Kashuk, and I am going to put this base on the back of my hand and pray to God that this does not screw up my eyeshadow look. Okay, so I'm just gonna dip in here, get some product on this little brush, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the top part of the cut crease like normal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the top part, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do differently for this type of cut crease. Okay, so I have the top part of my cut crease done. As you can see, I got it from my inner corner to here, and so far this base is working just perfectly, and I think I paid like $2 for it. So I will link it below in case you're interested in checking it out. I have no issues with it, but we will see when we put shadow on top of it. But anyway, for the next part of the cut crease, what we're gonna take the edge and create a diagonal line down to the center of your eyelid. So you should have something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up in a minute, but I'm just gonna create my lines first. All right, so I just finished cleaning it up, and that's how it's looking. And now I'm gonna jump into another small detail brush, and I kinda like this one. This is the Too Faced liner and smudger brush, and I kinda like this for applying all over base. So I'm gonna take some of that base on my hand and fill in this cut crease thing that we have going on here. There we have it. So now we're gonna apply the eyeshadow on top of our cut crease. And I wanted to do neutrals on the eyelid, but what I failed to recognize is that the shades that we're gonna jump into, like Incense and Eccentric, they are very similar. So we're just gonna use them, but it doesn't create as good of a gradient as I thought it was gonna. So the first shade we're gonna jump into is Incense. And we're gonna apply that in a diagonal fashion on the outside of our cut crease. The next shade we're gonna hop into is Eccentric, and we're gonna put that on the middle of our lid in a diagonal shape. At the same time, you kind of want to blend into that Incense shade, so I'll show you how I do that. So I just apply the shadow first. I find my line that I don't want to pass. So I create the line that I don't want to go over. And then I fill it in. And then when I get to the edge, I take a little bit of that shadow and I just blend it in with the other shade. If you want, you could take some of the previous shade and put it on there too, so it looks like a natural transition. So guys, this base that I'm using is actually really, really good. It's kind of rivaling the ABH one, and I'm impressed with it. And you know I am an eBay sale queen, so I always try to find things on eBay that are comparable to things that I pay a lot of money for, and this is totally awesome. Okay, so the next step is you want to look at both your eyes and make sure that they look even, because if they're not, this is the time that you gotta fix them before you put the last shade on. And so far mine look pretty even, so I'm just gonna go in with a third shade, and the third shade that we're gonna use is Base. And you're gonna take this and you're gonna apply it to your inner lid. I think that looks really cool, actually. All right, so before we get started on the lower lash line, you know I like to go in with my waterline liner. So I'm gonna take this Me Now Generation 2 eyeliner and put it in my waterline. And this is just a purple eyeliner, so just take whatever purple you have. We're gonna have to come back to another coat of that. So before we move on, we're gonna take the shade Passion, which is the deep rose color. And we're gonna stick that in the outer corner and try to blend your cut crease with this shade. You can put a little bit in your natural crease line too, because we're just gonna blend it. All right, now take your liner and do another coat on the bottom. And then you're going to want to use a pencil brush for this next step. And a pencil brush just looks like this with a little point at the top. I remember years ago, I always used to see people using pencil brushes, and I'm like, I want a pencil brush so bad. I've always wanted a pencil brush. And now that I have them, I use them all the time. So you're going to take the shade Passion, and we're going to stick that on the outer part of our lower lash line and connect it to the top. You want to do maybe a third of the outer part of your lash line. And when you finish that, take the shade Celestial, which is the metallic purple, and put that on the inner part of your lower lash line. The last step for your eyes is to take whatever brush you use for your inner corner and go into the shade Dreamer and stick this beautiful shade in your inner corner. I'm personally not going to do brow bone highlight with this look because we took the shades really close to the brow bone area, and I think it would look to be too much if we did so. I'm going to put on mascara and I'll be right back. So this is a final finished look. Let me know what you guys think about this look in the comments, and let me know if you think you're going to try it, or if you have this palette and how you feel about it. I'm interested to know your thoughts and feelings. That is all I have for you today. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you didn't like this video, just give me a thumbs down. And until next time,